Yeah, good morning. This is Brady Mara Hindley. Please press the like button, and if you like it, subscribe it. Yeah. Sex offenders. What is a sex offender? Tell me, what is a sex offender? I just watched a bit of YouTube with Sean Atworth, and he was talking to some people. I ain't saying the names, and they was talking about sex offenders and what happens to these sex offenders. So, what's a sex offender? When I was in the scrubs, 74s, two Sri Lankan guys sexually abused a young girl, and they was put on the wing. They was put on the wing, and Screws approached me about it, and I done some terrible things to them. I squashed all the genitals, smashed them to pieces, both of them. One upstairs in the recess, one upstairs in the toilet in the yard. They're sex offenders. They're sex offenders, yes or no? Yeah. So Ian Brady, is he a sex offender? He's killed kids, put them on Dartmoor, the moors or whatever, not Dartmoor, another moors, and no one's ever found them, done terrible things to the kids. Mara Hindley, same thing. Nothing happened to them. No one done nothing to them. Ian Brady was in Durham with all sorts of gangsters, running around the wing, making them cups of tea. Nothing happened to him, mate, and there were some proper people there, mate. There were some proper dangerous people in Durham at the time he was there as a sex offender, and no one done nothing to him. Mara Hindley, I don't think no one really done anything to her in prison. She died of natural causes. Ian Brady died of natural causes. They should have died by the neck, mate. They should have been stabbed to death. No one done that. No one done that. Because if it was on the street, people might do that to him. They might kill him, they might cut him to pieces, they might chop him up and put him in a machine or whatever. But in prison, oh no, I can't do that. Why? You're in prison. They can't put you in prison. You're already in prison. Do you know what I mean? So why can't you do it? So what about Paul Sykes? Paul Sykes? He wasn't. He didn't interfere with young boys. He didn't. What? Because they're not underage. He can grab young kids into his cell, sexually abuse them, get them to do all sexual things to them, and nothing happens. Do you know why? Because he's Paul Sykes. Because no one wants to get involved. Because he's Paul Sykes. No one wants to get a good hiding. But anybody anybody who doesn't look a threat, because everybody thinks a sex offender, he's got glasses, he's 5'4", slim built, ugly, and he couldn't get a woman. Everybody thinks that's a sex offender. Are they really? What about the crazy? What are they then? What are they? They wasn't sex offenders? They didn't used to grab boys, take boys and sexually abuse them in prison and out of prison. No one done nothing to them, mate. No one done a thing to them. Died of natural causes, mate. No one done a thing to them. And they were sexually abused. They did sexually abuse young kids. What about them? No one. It seems to me, in prison, listen, prison's a funny old place, yeah? A lot of these sex offenders get looked after by the authority. They're put on a wing, different name, everything. Given another charge, everything. But now and again, you get people in that wing that actually come in and know them. But there isn't many people that do anything to these sex offenders. There isn't many people that do anything to these sex offenders, because the ones that do, are usually people doing silly sentences like 2 years, 3 years, 18 months, them sort of sentences. But the big people that are doing the big sentences, they don't want to get involved, mate. They let it go. They let it go. Oh, not me, mate. I'm doing too big a sentence. Listen, mate. When I done these two Sri Lankan guys for what they did to these young kids, to me that was enough, mate. And all through my sentence, I ain't like sex offenders, mate. I don't like them. I bash them up 24/7. If I see them, they get bashed up. Even more so today. Today more so, they're put on that now. They let them ride. They let them loose in prison because they're looked after in prison, because they're selling drugs and because they're taking drugs. Money's more important than you're a sex offender, mate. Don't worry about it. Just buy my drugs. I'll let it go. What's happened, mate? It's gone into pieces, mate. All these sex offenders They're people, you don't remember, mate, they're people that abuse young kids. They're people that abuse young boys. Yeah, people that abuse young girls, yeah? You know what I mean? And they're in prison and no one does a thing about it. And yet now and again, you might get one who gets obliged because he looks, he's a sex offender, look at him, glasses, thin, ugly guy, he's definitely a sex offender. But anybody big, lump, or got a name, whoa, nah, not him, mate. It's all cobblers, believe me. I've seen it 24/7 in prison, mate. I never used to stand with that shit. I mean, me and Billy Williams, mate, don't worry about that, mate. We used to, in Wandsworth, we used to smash them to pieces and get permission to do it from the screws. And get permission to do it. I remember me and him running up to the fours or to the threes, bashing a guy up in the toilet with a chair leg, smashing it to pieces, sex offender, but a bad one. Screws marks our cars. This guy, I'm telling you, you would never think in a million years that he was a sex offender. Big lump, couple of scars on his face, big time child with says, bad sex offender. But the screws in Wandsworth let us know that who he was. There's only certain ones that will, mate. The rest, they just let it go. How can you do a job as a prison officer? All right, you're a prison officer. As a job, prison officer, go home to your kids, and yet there's people in there who've been abusing young kids and killed young kids and done terrible things to them, and you just let it go. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Radio. Please press the like button and subscribe, and give me a comment on it, yeah? Because I'd like to read that. Yeah, nice one.